first off, just about the message that you're going to give your players when you get to spring training. You get all those guys there, all those new faces. You've talked to some in the off season, but that's your chance to set the tone. What do you want to drive home?
I think we're going to talk about communication. We're going to talk about starting fresh. We're going to talk about feedback and how we're going to encourage that from our group.
But what kind of communication do you want? Like, oh, I'm going to have a peanut butter sandwich today, or what's the communication? What are you looking for?
No, I think it's both sides. It goes two ways between my staff and the players, and then just making sure what our expectations are out of the players that we're going to give to them.
Communication has to be important for you because you went down, I read an article that Royce Lewis said you came down to him, met with him, and he really thought that was a great, genuine gesture on your part. Why was that so important for you?
Yeah, it's building relationships. I think, you have to build relationships. And coming into a new setting, even though, I was here as the bench coach 6 years ago, 7 years ago, whatever it was, there's only one player that's really still here, and wanted to make sure that not only for myself, but for our staff, that we're continuing to build those relationships. Some of that starts in the offseason, especially with our pitching group and hitting group, being able to go see guys or talk to guys. But for myself and the new staff members, we have to make sure we build those relationships.
And a guy like Royce is such a cornerstone, so you need a guy like that. At least that's what everybody projects in.
Right.
That's what I'm assuming you are as well, right?
Yeah, I think we think he's going to be a really good player for us. Number one, he's got to stay healthy. So it's just getting eyes on him, like how you feeling, what's going on. And then number two, just making sure he realizes how important he is to us.
You look at Byron Buxton. He's a guy that was here when you were here. And if there's anybody that's wanting to be a Twin more than him, I don't think I've met him.
No, 100%. I mean, he wants to be a lifelong Twin. He's expressed that previously. I'm excited because, Byron Buxton's a superstar now. When I was here before, he was a budding superstar. You saw everything that he was going to be able to do, and he's put all that together. And keeping him on the field, just like keeping Royce on the field, is extremely important to us. He takes care of his body extremely well, but he is the cornerstone piece. He is that guy that we have, the guy that wants to be here, wants to be a Twin, and that's really exciting to me, just to see the maturation that he's gone through.
Are you picking out key guys to kind of drive your message home to the other players? Because a lot of times managers can't be just the voice, correct?
Right, correct. And I think the large part of that is the staff that we've put together, the conversations the staff have with our players, and then it will be certain players. Some of that I think I have a general idea of, but not being around this group, I need to be able to, foster those relationships before I can say, like, hey, can you help me deliver this? And part of it's a two-way street. These guys don't know me either, so they got to get to learn my cadence, what we're going about, so they can help me, because it's organic. I don't want to go to someone and say, like, hey, you need to hammer this home, and it's not something they believe in. That goes back to the communication piece.
Speaking of your staff, you're adding ball players that just were in the game. Ryan Presley, Michael A. Taylor, LaTroy Hawkins has been around the sport. How important is that to you to have baseball people in your staff, in the organization, helping these guys navigate what it takes?
Yeah, it's extremely important. I mean, our first two hires were LaTroy and Grady Sizemore, and Grady was one of the best players in the game for a 5 or 6 year period in the 2000s. And LaTroy's, number one, he's been a Twin. He works for the Twins, 18-year major league career. And then you add guys like Press and Michael A. Taylor that I have experience with, the organization have experience with, in special assistant roles, and you just continue to backfill in that group.
You look at Joe Ryan. He's arbitration, that's money, that's another thing. But we've heard that he thought he was going to get traded at the deadline. There's a lot of things going on. And Joe's, you'll get to know him more, but from what we see, he's a very emotional kind of pitcher, emotional guy. Do you worry about where his frame of mind is at, or if you had conversations with Joe about where life is at for him?
No, don't worry about that at all. He wants to win. That's the most important thing, and I think he's expressed that to me. He's excited, and I love the emotional side of that. I love the fact that he wears his heart on his sleeve because he pitches like that, and he's a really good pitcher. So we're definitely going to embrace that.
And last thing for you, TwinsFest, you're now getting a feel of the temperature of the fan base. What have you discovered to this point?
Temperature outside or temperature inside?
We all know the temperature outside.
Temperature outside, yeah, it's a little chilly, so make sure you get to TwinsFest, you get inside quickly. The temperature of the fan base, I think they just want to know what the expectations of the team are and how the team's going to play. And the one thing that I've always loved about Twins fans is the passion, and there is passion there. As long as we don't have apathy and there's opinions, no one's always going to agree. But I think Twins fans want to know, what kind of team we're going to have.
And what kind of answer are you giving them?
A team that's going to be fun to watch, and I think that's the most important thing.